I can waffle in.
Okay, ready?
Hello and welcome to Paranormal Perspectives. Today we're going to be talking about our paranormal perspectives, but not only our paranormal perspectives, our perspectives on Borley Rectory. Apparently the most
Haunted house in England.
Yeah, that's the one. And it's quite near to us, so that's kind of scary.
How near?
Down the road from me, mate. I think I'll tell you that, about 40 minutes. But it's quite near. Like, definitely from where I live, probably about 20 minutes. But yeah. Renowned as one of the most haunted destinations in all of Britain, Borley Rectory, constructed in 1862 in the village of Borley, Essex, has become hugely known for the chilling paranormal activity that had unfolded there many years ago and allegedly continues to.
I mean, you went there, does it? Is it still?
It was scary, but I think when you go to a place like that and everyone's hyped it up about it being scary, of course you're going to be scared. I didn't see any ghosts, but it was scary because first of all it was dark. Things are scary in the dark anyway.
What time did you go?
It was like January 2022 or 2022, and it was, I think we must have got there about 8ish, 9ish and left at about 10:30, 11.
So pretty late.
So yeah, and also it was January, so it would have been dark by 4 or 5 anyway. But when you go to a place like that and everyone's hyped it up to be so scary, of course you're going to be scared whether you see a ghost or not.
That's true.
Yeah.
It was constructed in 1862, but only a year later, apparently, locals heard footsteps coming from the house, which, I think that's pretty average.
It was constructed in 1862?
Yeah, and apparently the paranormal activity started just a year later.
Just a year later, so it hadn't started when it was constructed, just all of a sudden happened. That's weird.
Yeah, I mean, I
a
guess
year later.
Where'd the ghost come from?
So for a year there was nothing there?
Well, I don't know, that's just the first thing I saw.
Yeah. Well, and with Borley Rectory there have been films and books made about it, apparently. That's what, when you Google it up, films and books come up. Well, unless there's definitely a documentary or a film.
I saw
don't know about a book, but definitely film and documentary.
Well, as I was researching into it, I think one of the first sightings occurred in 1900 when the daughters of the first vicar spotted a figure towards the end of the garden.
So this was built in 1862?
Yeah.
But the first sighting happened in 1900, so that's...
I don't know if that's the first sighting.
But if that is true, that's 38 years after it was built, if I'm getting the maths right. So that's crazy.
The sightings that these girls saw could have been brushed off quite easily as just them making up a story. I mean, it's in the 1900s.
Yeah, they might have just got bored.
Exactly.
Made up some stories.
Not much excitement
to
going
do.
on.
I'm bored nowadays.
However, a man by the name of Peter Underwood, who has spent the majority of his life researching into paranormal activity, he met with the girls whilst investigating the house, and he stated that the girls were much travelled, intelligent and educated people. They weren't fools, and they certainly wouldn't allow themselves to make up stories to impress other people.
Yeah, because that's just weird.
I mean, yeah, but again, I think you're bored, and I think you just want
and
to
maybe this guy, who is he? Peter. Maybe Peter. Does he love ghosts? Is he like one of them ghost lovers?
I mean,
he must do because he's on this. Yeah, he's a ghost investigator. Yeah,
he wanted it. He
wants people to have seen ghosts because he likes ghosts. He loves ghosts.
I bet he makes bank from it.
Yeah, exactly. Making that $1, and I'm not being funny. He's obviously going to say they were well educated. They weren't of light. If I love giraffes, yeah, and I really wish giraffes were orange, and someone said giraffes are orange because I saw an orange giraffe, and I'm like, well, yeah, I like orange giraffes, so she's right, she wouldn't lie, she definitely saw that orange giraffe, just because I want her to have.
It's just someone.
But no one else has seen an orange giraffe, have they? I'm going to get haunted tonight in my sleep just because I'm arguing so much that these girls probably lied.
I mean, they probably did lie.
Or maybe they didn't lie. Do you know what I mean? Because there's always that doubt.
To be fair, it is important to note though, apparently one of the sisters went up to talk to the figure, but it disappeared. It disappeared. So, apparently just vanished.
What, so you're just telling me?
Did like how many of them?
There were 4 of them.
And one of them went up. Who walks up to a figure? Oh look, there's a scary figure at the end of my garden. Let me just walk towards it.
I mean, maybe she just wanted to protect her other sisters. Well, 10 years later, the supposed paranormal activity continued, with Eric Smith and his wife now living there. They both claimed that they heard voices, more footsteps, and bells ringing.
It was the neighbours.
I mean,
yeah. But the houses aren't that close together, so...
Yeah, true. It looks like it's in a field sort of thing,
Yeah.
which it kind of was. It wasn't near anything. It was like near some bushes.
Did you hear any footsteps when you were there? Apart from your own?
The people around me's footsteps, yes.
See, maybe that's what they heard.
When I was, that was a bad vibe there. The church had a weird vibe, but you knew there was people around, and also it is a graveyard. When I was stood where the monastery used to be, that had a weird vibe. I don't know if it's because we knew the story about the nun, which we'll get onto, but that did have a weird vibe. But to be fair, we had just climbed through a bush and it was pitch black. But yeah, I got a weird vibe earlier. I thought someone was sat next to me, and they might be. There you go. No, I can feel someone there.
Okay, well,
That's nuts.
the wife of Eric Smith found something very unexpected wrapped in some brown paper packaging when she was cleaning out a cupboard.
Why brown paper? So,
Well, do we want to know what was in the
what
package?
was in the package?
It was the skull of a young girl.
Now,
Was it ever identified who that was?
I'm not sure.
but also,
Maybe they didn't care.
my point is, that means someone who was used to be there got someone's skull somehow, wrapped it up in brown paper and put it in what?
A cupboard?
Or the
Put
ghost
it
did
in
it.
a cupboard.
Or
The ghost did not do that, let's be real. Some weirdo wrapped up a girl's skull and put it in a cupboard.
I mean,
What are these the first owners that found this?
So
Or
no.
second owners? So, and did the first owners ever get arrested for a crime?
I
after
don't think
this?
so. What if one of the daughters died? Who knows?
But you don't think that was the first owners that might have wrapped that skull up and put it in there?
I guess so.
It could have been.
The second owners wouldn't have been like, who last lived here? Because we've just found a skull in the cupboard. Like,
Maybe every single thing here is just like a cover up for them murdering someone and then putting their skull in a cupboard, just pretending it was ghosts. Then getting everyone else to lie. Which is ghosts.
I feel like that's not a very
I mean,
successful. Maybe it is a successful
It is
way of
successful,
doing it
we
because
don't know.
nothing's happened. Who
Yeah.
done them? Who put that there? Who took that person's skull? Did they not do like a test on the skull to find out who it was?
They might have existed then.
Just
Oh
thinking
yeah, back in the 1900s.
I mean,
yeah,
it's pretty. I think it's a pretty recent thing.
is it?
Like loads of DNA's.
yeah, it's quite recent. I think it's probably
I mean-
a little around when we were born, maybe a few years before we were born, possibly. I don't know. That's not something I know anything about.
Well, this incident did lead the couple to contacting a newspaper, which then led a man by the name of Harry Price to meet with the couple. and
Another
visit the
ghost
house.
lover who's gonna lie
Another
for them.
ghost
I'm
lover.
gonna get horny tonight if I keep this out.
Harry Price was originally an engineer, but with the money of his rich wife, he was able to relax and further explore his interest in the paranormal. So he was
How
very
did she get her
interested.
money? This wife fly about orange giraffes.
Maybe. But allegedly, Harry experienced a multitude of so-called paranormal events, one being almost being hit by a flying candlestick. So,
And like we said earlier about this candlestick incident, if he loves ghosts, he might just go and throw a candlestick at himself.
maybe he got someone else to chuck one down. I mean,
Yeah, it was just the excitement of it. Or maybe it didn't happen and he just said it did.
Yeah.
Because you don't need it to. You don't need to throw a candlestick at yourself if no one's watching.
I mean, but he also said that stones were thrown around. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, were there kids playing near the house throwing stones? I used to throw stones. Stones, yeah, but were the stones thrown in the house or outside of the house?
I'm not sure. It's a great question. Probably outside.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you want to read this part? Because I don't know how to say this man's name.
But I want to know, I want to know if he saw them fly across the air or he just heard a few stones. That's what I want to know.
I feel like he would have had... Well, again, he probably saw some stones and made up the story. It was like, oh, do you know what would be so great?
Some stones in the air.
Yeah.
Don't get much more wild than that.
I guess not.
Yeah. So who's this guy?
Eric Smith.
Eric Smith.
Oh no, Harry Price. Sorry.
Harry Price. Eric Smith's the other guy.
He's
the
the
one
living
that-
there.
Yeah.
He called up Harry Price. No, I don't think
It's a newspaper, I guess.
Okay, alright, yeah.
Lionel Forster and his wife then lived in the house. And then they experienced paranormal activities, such as things being thrown around,
Does he have any
Yeah.
dates?
sticks and stones, and apparently he heard bells.
There's a lot of bells around here.
And windows were shattered.
I wouldn't.
And
Church
windows were
bells?
shattered.
You don't think it was church bells?
I mean, it probably could have been. Although I think I saw something about them like stopping the bells. I don't know how you do that. But then after they ensured that the bells wouldn't ring or whatever, they still heard the bells.
But
someone
where
else might
were
just have a bell.
what? They went to the bell and just said, "Don't ring any more
They
bell."
probably just stopped it from ringing somehow.
Yeah, because you have to physically do it to ring them.
And then they just carried on.
What if it
Or
was
the
just
ghost
the
probably
wind?
just undone it.
What if it was just the wind?
Does the wind have that much strength for a bell to ring?
Yeah, sometimes.
It might, if it was just like a little, maybe it was the wind. If it was a proper.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's just. But the thing is with this place, they say it's one of the. The funny thing is, they say it was the most haunted house in England, is it? But I've heard more haunted stories of places in England. This is all stones were thrown, windows shattered.
I mean,
Some bells rang, and at the minute that's that. I saw a figure and it disappeared. But I've heard places in England where there's a lot more going on than that. People are seeing figures constantly. People are being touched by these ghosts. Has that happened here? Because why is it? I want to know specifically, why is it the most haunted? If more
Yeah, I
stuff
don't
has
know why
happened
it
in other
is.
places in England.
I mean, allegedly though, his daughter got locked inside of a room with no key.
What lying
That's
out
a step
daughter?
up. Yeah, that's a step up from stones being thrown.
So she got locked inside a room.
Yeah.
How old was she? Or
No
not say.
idea.
And there was no key. So what do you mean with no key?
I don't know.
Was there a
Apparently
lock on
with
the
no key.
door?
I don't know.
Or is
I don't
it
know.
just locked in a room where you can't even lock that door because there's no lock on that door?
I don't know, but apparently she got locked into a room. How that happened?
Did she have any siblings?
No, I don't think so. However, many suggest that the wife, after moving from London to the countryside, was very bored with her life. She didn't find much excitement.
So
So-
don't blame her back in those days.
So
Read a
to-
book, go cook in the kitchen, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
But to find excitement,
Girls got to find excitement sometimes.
and I think she did that by exaggerating the paranormal activity that was going on. So maybe she locked her own daughter.
Yeah, shattered the window.
Yeah.
Why
some
would,
stuff.
so you're accusing this poor woman that was
No,
a bit
I'm not.
bored
I'm just like other
of
people are.
locking her daughter in
She-
a room.
Yeah, she was bored. She wanted some excitement, probably.
I get bored sometimes. I'm not going to go and lock someone in a
This
room.
was what, the 1900s? They had nothing. Apart from maybe like...
What? So, answer, we have nothing. We don't have phones. We have nothing. I'm going to go lock someone in a room.
Yeah. And they'd be like, oh my god,
That was
the
a
ghost has got
The ghost.
my daughter.
It depends on the daughter's age though, because why would you do that to your daughter? Do it to your husband. He's the one that thinks you belong in the kitchen. Do you know what I mean?
Well, we don't know. We don't know that. No way.
When was it, the
in that.
1900s?
Maybe he was like really a really
Maybe he was
progressive man.
Yeah, maybe, but I doubt it.
Well,
I'm sorry, progressive men in this age. Soon we're about to hear a story where a nun gets buried in a wall for trying to have a bit of fun with her life.
I mean that's true. That's true. But like the other couples, he and his wife moved out of the house. And do you know who moved in next?
Who?
Harry Price, the man who loves the paranormal.
Harry Price, the one who'd earlier
Mhm.
investigated and talked to the 4 girls that lived there.
No, that was another man. He spoke to the couple. The couple, Eric Smith, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, so
They put something in the newspaper, and they wanted someone to come and investigate.
he
what's
had
going on.
earlier been to the house and investigated,
He
and
had,
now he's
yeah.
moved in.
Now he's
I
in for
didn't know
for a
that.
whole year. He's there for a
Oh,
year.
okay.
And during this time, he made, I believe it was like other students, but he wanted a bigger investigation, so he brought people into the house to try and hear paranormal activity, see it.
what's going on, man.
And 2 of the people, they decided to...
I'd hire like fake ghosts as well, just to scare the students.
What, in the 1900s? Hire a fake ghost.
Yeah, I'll be like, Mum, Dad, get dressed up. The students coming over and we gotta scare
I don't
them.
know why you've gone American.
I don't know. That's what I imagine old people to sound like, but this is in Essex, I've got to remember that.
Well, apparently, they... Oh fuck, what did they do?
Sealed doors.
Apparently, they sealed a door to a room so that they knew no one would go in there and mess up their investigation. And on coming back...
Cotton stuff as well.
Yeah, I think that's what they used. Something... Cotton, I'm not quite sure.
In the walls?
No, in the door to the room.
Okay, yeah.
So that when they came
If
back...
anything had been messed with,
Yeah, they would know.
or walked through.
Yeah, they would know. But it hadn't been. The seal that they put was intact, but in the room there was markings on the wall. It said something, but they weren't sure what it read. But there were markings and scratchings in the wall.
Yeah. Wow. That's mortifying. But,
Yeah. There were 48 people that he got to assist him in the
48
investigation.
people.
48.
So if one of us gets killed, we all get killed together.
I mean, I guess so.
That's a lot of people.
When was this investigation with the 48 people?
I'm not quite sure.
And you know the story with the nun, which we will get onto.
Yeah.
Was that before or after?
Well, we don't know who this nun is. It could have been. The daughters could have seen the nun because they said that it looked like a person praying. Their head was down.
So was
Or
so
that
the
could
nun
have
could
been
have
the man.
always been there.
Potentially.
So something. But when was it a monastery? This whole time? Because
I don't
people
know.
are living in there. People are living in there. That's what I don't
Yeah.
understand. But then
Well, I
there's a
thought it
story
was
about
that-
a nun. So is the story about the nun before people started living
Yeah, I
there?
think so.
Ah.
Maybe.
And if you think about it, it weren't that long ago. Like, it wasn't. Do you guys actually think it was long ago?
I think it was long ago, yeah, but if you put it in like
Put it
perspective
into
to other
perspective.
things, then no, it wasn't that long ago.
My grandparents, most of them, were born in the 1940s and 50s, and this burnt down in the 1939. And most of my grandparents are still alive.
Yeah,
So that's not that long ago if you think about it.
that's true.
And my grandparents are like literally early 70s, late 60s.
That's true.
So not that long ago when it was burnt down. And I just don't. Yeah. No, man.
Well, Harry Price, the man who did the investigation, though, then published his findings. So
Oh, so you know the carvings in the wall, were there pictures took of them or did they carve it out?
well, I
or
think
what?
he just wrote about it and then published what he wrote.
But I'm not gonna believe you about your carvings unless you show me a picture of your carvings, mate.
A lot of people didn't believe him.
Or
They said
why
that-
didn't? Well, how long ago was this? Surely they had a camera by then. It might be a fat one, but
Bit expensive.
Did they have a camera?
cameras were invented, surely.
Well,
One
One in the entire world.
Yeah, maybe it was too expensive. Yeah, but then if you were that desperate to prove your point to people, you'd carve the wall out. Like, you know, you'd get a knife.
oh my god.
No, you'd be able to somehow preserve it if it was that.
Maybe they
If
did.
it was majorly
We just don't
that
know.
evidence. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, we haven't done like the biggest deep dive into this ever.
no, we're
So
kind of
there's
just.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of information that we're probably missing out. So they could have done.
So there is one ghost, most famous ghost for Borley Rectory that supposedly haunts the place, and the most sighted ghost, I suppose.
Yeah.
The nun. Are we going to go into more into that? The nun? Is it a headless nun or just a nun?
Why would it be headless nun?
Because I heard something about a headless nun, but maybe I'm totally wrong.
I mean, it doesn't say anything about her getting a head cut off,
I bet it's something to do. I bet someone's mixed up the skull being found and the nun story together, headless sort of thing. But yeah, there's one ghost that haunts the place, that supposedly haunts the place, the most famous ghost known there, the nun.
So basically, what happened, Jen? A nun.
You sound sorry. The nun. So basically, what happened? Yeah.
A nun from the nearby nunnery fell in love with a monk, and then they tried to get married.
They tried to elope.
Yeah.
Wasn't going to happen.
That's what marriage is, babe.
Yeah, but they eloped.
What's elope?
They
When you
tried to
secretly.
elope.
No, it's when you secretly get married, I think. What the fuck is
They
elope?
tried to elope.
Yeah.
They tried to secretly
I
get
don't know
married,
what
but they
eloping
didn't
is
succeed in eloping.
It's just like marrying really quick. It's like you
Elope-
don't plan out a massive marriage.
Elope is run
It's
away.
marriagement.
Run away secretly in order to get married. They knew they couldn't be together.
It's
They
hurried.
tried to get married. They couldn't.
So this is a monk and a nun.
And they were
Yeah.
caught
So
out.
what are
before it
rules?
happened.
What are rules for monks and what are rules for nuns? Search it up back in this day. I want to know. So they weren't allowed to have any girlfriends or boyfriends.
Rules for months.
I assume they're not allowed any relationship.
No.
You have to be committed in your relationship to God.
So with monks and nuns, I'm pretty sure like they weren't allowed any funny
sexual
business.
relations.
No sexual relationships
Oh.
going on. No funny business.
No sexual relations. Eating only before midday, and
Oh,
refraining from gossip.
So is this for monks and nuns?
Yeah.
So yeah, this was not allowed. This cheeky monk and nun, they were getting together and they were not allowed to be doing this. This was like, imagine back in this time, and you're a monk and a nun, and you're trying to elope each other. It's not going to go well, because that is forbidden.
Yeah.
So if we carry on the story, they tried to elope
They tried to elope.
and clearly failed as.
They were found trying to elope and sentenced to death.
What, did someone just find them running through a field holding hands?
Well, the monk was sent to a gallows in the monastery. Don't really know what that is. But
Wait, hang on.
so the monk's fine. I'd assume he probably
So
lived out his life.
So
Really?
the nun.
I think he was just sent into like I don't know, like a little
What is-
like a little cell. And
So-
then
So
the
the nun
nun she
got
was in the walls.
buried alive in a wall, while the monk's just like, here you go, here's a prison cell, but you can stay alive. Yet the woman gets buried alive in a wall.
Yeah. So
The nun. What about the monk?
he was put in a like
It's
I'm
in a
guessing
room.
it's like the underneath the monastery.
I think it's a form of hanging.
Oh.
What?
Oh.
Gallows can
Oh,
take
it's looking
several
like
forms.
Oh.
The
Okay. No.
simplest form
Yeah.
resembles.
Don't want to be cancelled.
I think he was hanged.
Yeah. The monk was hanged. Hanged.
Hanged.
Yes, basically, both of them got as bad as each other. Just to clear that one up. Didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it says that the most significant reports of this nun comes from Eric Smith and his wife. So the footsteps that they would have heard were probably the nun.
Yeah.
So the person haunting this place is a nun. Is this nun who just wanted
she's looking
to
for
get
the
with her
monk.
man?
So,
Yeah. She's just
so,
went in.
so the nun, that's a really sad story actually, if you think about it. Because this is a nun and a monk that were in love. They're normal people. I mean, don't be a nun if you want to be in a relationship, and don't be a monk if you want to be in a relationship. But still, they were normal people and they wanted to be together, obviously against their rules. And they got caught and they both got killed basically brutally. The monk got hung by the looks of things, and supposedly the nun was buried in the wall. All of that just
Which is
because
crazy.
they wanted to elope.
That's crazy.
That's
how
sad.
do you put someone in the wall?
So really, all of these hauntings, it's all a bit of fun for us and everyone.
Such
Really, this could actually be this nun that got buried in the walls and was alone until she basically died in the wall.
Yeah, tortured to death. Deteriorated.
And she's probably just trying to live
Why are you
her.
laughing at the
Sorry.
moment?
It's just not serious. It got so creepy.
Well,
No, but that's
I'm talking
sad,
about
isn't it?
people being
So
I
the
know, it
nun-
is really sad.
is probably haunting the place, but really, yeah, it's all about maybe she's getting revenge on humans because they're the ones who buried her in a wall.
Maybe.
I hate you all because you buried me in a wall. Fair enough, Queen. I'd be pretty mad at humans if they buried me in a wall. So, honestly, fair enough.
Fair enough, fair play to her.
Like,
I'd do the same if it happened to me.
Yeah,
I'd
like,
haunt the place.
if someone...
Fair enough.
Yeah, you'd haunt the place. If not, I'd probably be... I'm scared of my own shadow. Like, I'm genuinely scared of myself. Yeah. I get scared that my face is going to move in the mirror.
I get scared about that too.
So, like, I'm kind of scared of my own shadow. I hate being alone. And when I am alone, I'm constantly scared. So, if I were to be a ghost haunting the place, I'd be scared of myself. And I'd be like, oh no, don't do that. It's creepy. You're scaring yourself.
Well,
which is off topic.
Do we think that this place is actually haunted or not? What are our beliefs?
I think it is.
You think it is?
Yeah.
The fire was 1939. It got knocked down in 1944.
So it got rebuilt?
No, it didn't get rebuilt.
It was
left in ruins
yeah,
until
it got demolished in
1944.
1944.
And when it was demolished?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. You can't go to the house anymore because in 1939 the house was burnt to the ground. It was then left in ruins until 1944 when it was demolished. So you can't go there anymore. It's not there. All the spirits have gone into the wild, they're free.
Or do they still roam the grounds?
Probably
Because
spirits.
spirits... Also, something about spirits is when houses have changed over years and floors used to be lower or higher, spirits, you might hear knocking, yeah, but really the floor for them is lower than where it is for us, apparently. That's what I've heard. Because the floor might have been changed or the house might have been redone. So you might hear knocking and think, well, it's not on this floor because it could be under or higher on an invisible floor that's only for the ghosts because they lived in the house when it was different. That's what I've heard on a lot of YouTube videos, but obviously it's just a theory.
I mean, I suppose. But allegedly, a woman witnessed a figure of a nun standing in a window during the fire.
So someone was just stood there, oh, it's on fire, let me just watch the windows.
What else are they going to do?
I don't know, run away, get away from it.
They're probably just watching it burn. Saw the nun.
Oh, so that's really weird actually. Imagine like your home is burnt, is the woman that lived there. Imagine your home's burning down, yeah, and you're like, shit, get out. And then you run away.
I don't think it was her home.
Well, anyway, imagine you see a house burning. You run away from the house and you try to stay away. And then you're looking at it burn down because it's been like, oh, that's a shame, it's burning down. And in the windows, you can see all the flames going up and you can just see someone stood out the window looking, and it's the nun.
Well, I mean, I hope she said something in case that was an actual
You don't
person.
think she... Oh no, that's a bit silly theory.
What was your
I was going to say, like, imagine the nun somehow done that, like the ghost, just as revenge. Like,
Well, I think-
villain era sort of vibes.
I think the fire happened because a man who was living there,
Oh, yeah, what's the cause?
an oil lamp, I guess he knocked
That's what
on
you
and
thought we were
spilled
going to be
something.
using when we went and explored.
But what are our beliefs now? Do we think that this place is actually haunted by this nun, perchance?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah.
Do you, or are you just saying that because you don't want to get haunted by the ghosts?
No, I mean, there's so many stories. It's not like one person, oh, yeah, there's nothing. It's like there's
True,
loads.
there's so many
There is a
different
lot.
people.
Yeah, when I went there, I'm really interested about the where it specifically is, because when I went there and supposedly went to the location where the monastery was knocked down,
Right.
was it a monastery?
Well, this is just a house that I think
The
was
rectory, whatever,
Yeah.
was knocked down. If I was in the right location, I was stood on a load of bricks on the floor. Obviously nothing was up, it was all just loads of bricks on the floor. But apparently there's nothing there, but I was stood on loads of bricks, so unless they're just loads of bricks on the floor. Or unless I was in the wrong bit. But no, I got a weird vibe. But you're going to get a weird vibe when you're stood. When you've gone somewhere specifically because it's a haunted location, it's dark, you've took ghost equipment and you're expecting to see some scary stuff. Of course you're going to be scared, and of course you're going to have a weird vibe. Because we're not there right now, and I have a weird vibe just because we're talking about something scary.
Yeah.
And we're in the dark.
So do you think that it's haunted?
Yes.
You do?
Yes. Yes. I mean, other things, if you said, do you believe in ghosts, I'd be on the middle. But I'd say yes to protect my own back at night time. But with this, why would it not be? Why would people just be saying... Because people would be saying stories about every single house. But no, it's only about specific houses, which means these houses have got to have something about them, because something's up. Because we're not telling this story about every single building. We don't come into college and say a window smashed, stones were thrown.
There has to be some couple who lived there.
Yeah.
Every person, they experienced something. Whether it was them hearing footsteps, them hearing the bell, or something more severe like stones being thrown. Everyone experienced something. But could that have been just, the previous owners, they thought it was haunted, now I'm on edge living here, so I'm going to take everything as paranormal activity.
I guess you'll never really know, unless you see it yourself.
If something happened to me that was creepy, I'd immediately assume, great, there's a ghost here. And then any creak I heard, or anything that happened, even if it was the wind making a noise, I'd assume, great, that's the ghost. Just because one thing happened, then every other noise, I'd be then scared. And it's probably noises I've never even noticed before. I'd be then scared just because one creepy thing happened.
Yeah.
So it could just be your mind playing tricks on you, and you're noticing your surroundings way more than you used to just because one scary thing happened.
I think when one thing happens, you're kind of expecting more to happen.
So you wait for it, and you kind of I've forgotten the word. Kind of like I can't remember the word.
But you think it is haunted?
Well, I mean, I think any place where someone's died is haunted, because, I mean, if someone's died there, you never know, they could be haunting the place.
What do you think?
I mean, I find it really hard to believe in ghosts sometimes, right? I like the idea of it. I like feeling like spooky.
So you
I do. But it's just like there's so many instances. Footsteps. You hear footsteps.
You don't think that's what the girls said when they were making up the story of the figure? I like feeling spooky.
Let's
just pretend we saw a figure.
But the thing is, if one person says something, I feel like it's so easy to be like, oh yeah, I saw that too. Like,
yeah, because you start... if I went to my dad's, for example, and he was like, I saw a figure on the field, and then I'm going to go there expecting to see that, so my mind's going to immediately get there and be searching for anything I see that's any sign of it, even if it was like a weird footprint in the grass. Do you know what I mean? I'll be searching for any sign.
Yeah.
Oh, I heard a whistle, probably a bird, but I'd think it's the guy he saw. Do you know what I mean? You'd just be kind of anticipating it. Anticipating it, that's the word.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to believe in ghosts, but then also at the same time I don't want to be affected negatively if ghosts are real. That's the thing. You can want to believe in ghosts, also if ghosts are real and if some of them are dangerous, like what they call poltergeists, then poltergeists, you don't really want to... You can say, I want to believe in ghosts, but it seems there's a more negative side to ghosts if they are real, and if you want to believe in them, that's cool, but imagine they are real and then they actually start to really affect your life and haunt you.
Yeah, I'm sure they've drove some people crazy.
Exactly. Honestly, if I moved into a house and any of this happened, I'd be moving straight out. What about you guys?
I'm gone.
I'd move out if there was a spider in the bath, let alone a human that was dead.
I mean, why would you move into a place if you've heard stories about it?
Yeah, and also it looked like that anyway. It looked scary anyway, to be honest. Yeah. Any personal experiences with ghosts, guys?
Never. I've never seen
Have
ghosts.
you ever like heard anything? Have you ever had like a family member or a friend tell you they've seen it, or had any weird experiences?
I haven't. No.
Do you ever get scared, like if you're alone at home
Yeah.
and you think there's like a ghost maybe, or you hear movement?
Yeah. But then I'm always like, oh, well, it's probably not real.
The air and cupboard.
Probably.
No. Yeah, I've got a few people in my life that say they've experienced stuff. And when I've gone to Borley Rectory, now to be honest, I don't think it was a ghost. I just think it was a mess up. We had some equipment, I don't know what it's called, we might have to Google that. It's like a weird radio that says loads of different words, so you ask it questions and talk to it, and it will constantly be going...
Like a ghost translator.
Yeah, it will constantly be going like radio, cake, college, light, camera. It just keeps, but it says it in different voices. So like a man will say something, a woman will say something, a child will say something. It's all muffled, and you kind of just. So I said to my mate, "Oh, I feel," because I kept feeling like a little tug. That could have been explained by anything. It could have been the wind. My necklace could have been caught on my coat. Anything. But I did look down and I kept checking, and I could pick it up and it was all fine. But I kept feeling just and just silence. And I said to my mate, "Oh my god, I keep feeling tugging on my necklace." And as soon as I said that, the little radio thing went, "Necklace."
That's disgusting. Like terrifyingly disgusting. Not as in...
Yeah, and I'm like immediately like.
Yeah.
And give it to her mum and she puts it in her handbag, bless her. But
Was her handbag tugging?
don't know, I didn't ask her. But that could have been anything. I will tell you the reasonable explanations for that. For the necklace tugging, it could have been wind, jacket caught on it, something caught on it, anything. The radio thing, the people there were like, "Oh my god, that's so scary, let's leave." But when I told people the story after, it didn't sound as scary as they weren't there.
Yeah.
And I think my mum said to me, "Are you sure it didn't just hear its surroundings?
Yeah.
And are you sure like the radio didn't hear its surroundings and just pick up on the words around it and repeat some words?" Because I had said necklace.
I mean, maybe.
And it could have. So they're the explanations for it. But if you don't believe any of them, what do you believe? Do you think that was a ghost tugging on the necklace? Exactly. There's explanations for it, but we'll never know.
I mean, how the tug, right? How, like, was it hard?
I just felt like, because I could,
And it was multiple.
like it was like, so you know your necklace goes around the back of your neck?
Yeah.
It would be like, yeah, like multiple. Like it wasn't just so like it was going on for a few minutes, and then, you know when you're not noticing something, but then you're all of a sudden like, hang on, this has happened a few times and I hadn't even really thought about it.
Maybe the nun just wanted it. She liked the look of it and was trying to get it off.
Yeah, but while this was like, we weren't even stood on where the remaindings of the thing were, the rectory were. We were actually at the church at this point, we were near the church, which is across the road.
Maybe she lives in the church. I mean, her.
Yeah, she
I don't know if there's any stories about the church actually being haunted. All I know is that it's near the place and people do explore the church as well.
Yeah.
But did you see any stories about the church?
I mean, I'm not sure. I feel like churches in general are kind of sometimes scary places.
Do you guys enjoy horror movies?
You don't?
Neither.
I like some.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you sleep at night after watching them?
Yeah. I mean, if it's a film, it's different because that's made up.
With a
right?
scary movie, do you have like... Do you need to have people with you when watching it, or you can watch it alone and you're fine.
I can watch them alone.
Yeah, that's weird. That's weird. That's not normal behaviour.
No.
You'd get along well with a nun.
No, because when you're watching a film, you know that it's made up, right? If you're watching a film about ghosts,
But it's still
scary. Like,
yeah, but it's like, oh, they have someone behind the camera throwing something. They have props, whatever, that are going to move.
Yeah, but why are you thinking about that one?
I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking, right, this is rare when it's going to happen in my house if I watch a movie. But also, after I've watched something scary, whether it's based on a real story or not,
Yeah.
I feel like I've got this thing, like a scary hangover. I've got this feeling. So you know,
Scary.
say you've watched a scary thing. After it, do you feel scared for a while and you have to kind of adjust again, going to the toilet and stuff? Because I do.
I mean, it depends.
I'll be wary for a few hours and then I'll have to like.
I mean, it's always playing in my head, like, oh, if I just watch something about ghosts, I'm like, oh, if there's one living right now.
Because with me, I feel like a weird vibe after watching stuff like that. A weird depressing vibe, scared vibe. Same with like when I visited Borley Rectory.
Yeah.
I've watched YouTubers before that visit ghost places, and they say they call it like a ghost hangover after they've done an investigation at a place. For about 3 days after that, they have this weird vibe in them, and they kind of have to shake it off because they're a bit scared. And I feel like I get that after watching scary movies, but not only that, I got that feeling after leaving Borley Rectory, and I dreamt about it that night. I'm pretty sure dreamt about something weird that night. So, do you like watch ghost videos and stuff?
I used to love watching them when I was younger. Now, not so much.
And why is that? Is it just because you just don't?
I think because when I was younger, I was obviously more like...
You're a type of person to watch those Santa videos. Santa Quartz camera.
I used to love those.
I watched the bloody Killer Clown ones.
Oh my god, I used to
where
love
they used
those.
to go like, yeah.
I used to love driving around late at night with my mum because I'd hope one would like come
That's
out.
disgusting.
Wait, what? No, that's disgusting.
I was
agree.
scared to go to school because of the clown.
Yeah, see, that happened, like, that was 2016, yeah? Like, that whole big thing about it. It literally started the day before my birthday, and then when I went in school on my birthday that day, all the boys were going, be careful, the killer clowns are about. And, like, we told the teacher, me and my friend, and we were like, they're scaring us. Yeah.
I thought they were going to come to my school. That's quite weird.
Because people, like, teenagers were, like, dressing up as them as well as trying to scare kids. And that was around Halloween.
Yeah.
It was... That scared me. I can't believe you wanted to see one.
I don't play with clowns.
Yeah, no, I hate that shit.
Well, ghosts.
You wanted to see a clown or a ghost?
Well, no, but like...
You can't really see a ghost, can you? It's not.
Yeah, but some people spotted the nun. You can see some ghosts.
I guess.
Like an outline.
I feel like there's such like a... I don't know what the word is, but when you think of ghosts, you always think of one specific thing. But do you think that it's more like varied? There's different types of ghosts? And
Yeah.
Like aliens.
Aliens aren't ghosts. Aliens are separate.
Oh, I know, but I'm just saying there's probably loads of different types of aliens.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh no,
true.
I see what you mean now. Yeah, I thought you meant alien was
Yeah.
one of the types of ghosts. Oh, they're a bit far-fetched. You know, I think I wouldn't be able to go into like are they called rabbit hole, wormhole of stuff like that?
Yeah, right now.
Because
You don't find it interesting?
no, I do find it interesting, but I also find it terrifying.
Uh-uh. Do you hear that?
Yeah, but at least
That's
it's
scary.
over there near the door.
Yeah, but it sounded like it was coming towards us. You need to stop. Sorry.
But no, like I find it interesting, but I wouldn't be able to sleep if I let myself watch stuff like that.
Really?
No, I wouldn't be able to sleep.
I watched one, like a couple of seconds of, what is it, like Blair, like the mansion thing. It's on Netflix. I watched 1 second of it. Saw the bent neck lady. That's it.
Oh no, that's done. Yeah, no.
And I keep on seeing her. I went to sleep that night. Saw her face when I was about to fall asleep. I don't play that game.
You saw her face like what? Like with your eyes shut or with your eyes open?
Oh yeah, sure.
Oh, that's a bit relieving.
I thought like when I was going to turn my head, she was going to be there.
Yeah,
I get like that when I'm sleeping. Sometimes I don't want to open my eyes in case there's like a ghost right there watching me.
Yes, I'm like, keep your eyes shut, but then I'm thinking, what if you touch my face? Yeah. How do you guys have the duvets? It's a really weird question, yeah, but with my duvet, no, allow me.
How has this gone from ghosts
No,
to
with,
duvets?
no, because we're scared when we go to sleep. Ever since I was a kid, I've had my duvet over my head, yeah. When I was a kid, it used to be bad. I used to have it fully over me.
No, they can get you.
No, because what you do is
They can grab you.
you tuck your duvet under your. So I lay on my front.
Ooh.
I tuck my duvet under my feet,
I love doing
so
that.
no one can pull it. They probably could, but it gives them less of a chance. And I have my duvet over my head, so I have a little breathe hole there, and I face the wall.
No, I just face the
No, I
wall.
genuinely do.
You're ready for fight or flight. Fight or flight.
No, so that, pretend this hood is my duvet. So it's literally like that on the cushion, and like I have a little breathe hole, and that's it.
I'd overheat.
Yeah.
I'd have my leg out.
I do.
No.
No, that's
And
crazy.
then you're gonna get dragged by a ghost.
No, because
I overheat.
once
Is it hanging off the bed?
No, why would I hang my leg off the bed?
Well, I don't know.
it's out
You already
and
got
about
your
anyway.
leg out anyway.
No, it's not just out in the open. Like there's blanket over one leg, and then underneath it's like that one. Cover it.
I get it.
It's just not inside.
I do overheat, but I have to deal with it because what would you rather, get attacked by a ghost or overheat? Overheat. 100%.
Do you think a ghost would attack? Has anyone been attacked by a ghost? Is that like a thing?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, that's happened. Like people have been picked
Okay,
up
that.
by ghosts on their beds.
Oh my god.
No, genuinely look.
You're so unfunny.
It wasn't meant to be funny. It was meant to be scary.
I still looked. No, but
Nah, that needs to stop now.
there's
No, that's happened. Like, there's been. It's like, you know, the Conjuring movie. The Conjuring.
yes.
I've never watched it, but obviously that's based on a real story.
Is it?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
That's
You did it.
Oh no,
The
I didn't know
Conjuring
that.
twins.
Sorry, I didn't know
All
that.
the people are real, yeah.
Talk, you put it in that corner. I swear.
Can you see what's over there? Because I heard a footstep.
No,
It's
I'm
done.
myself.
It's tracking the face above you though.
Is it actually?
Oh.
No, it wasn't.
Oh. If something jumps out right now, I hope it gets you first.
I hope it does too.
Conjuring is a real story. You know, like the investigators in it that they got to go to the house. They're real people that actually happened. All of that happened apparently. I think there's a few twists to the story that is based off of a real story. So that was my example of ghosts actually attacking people.
Oh right. Yeah.
That was my
I don't like
example
to
of
think
that.
about that.
Oh yeah, because I forgot about possessions as well, like people being possessed by ghosts.
Exactly, and that's what I meant.
Well,
Thank you guys so much for watching the
For
podcast.
listening.
And for listening, for the
Listening.
listeners.
If you were watching this podcast, let us know if you saw a ghost behind us.
Yeah, let us know
If
if
you're
there was a
listening-
ghost stood behind
Don't
her.
say if there was a ghost behind us.
Yeah, no, tell us. Because we're going to be editing this anyway, so we're all going to see whether there was a ghost behind us.
Mm-hmm.
Done. Okay,
But thank you for listening.
like and subscribe.